ZabE here today with another ZabE Rocks. Today we're going to make paper. Yay, paper. It's a fun project. It's a little messy. It's a little slow because we can only do 1 or 2 students at a time. And it's better to do it outdoors, I think, because you're going to have a lot of water sloshing about. So for this project, what we're going to need is some paper, old paper, any kind of paper you can find. We're going to rip it up and change it into our new paper. We're going to need a screen of some kind. They sell these lovely ones that have a hinge on them. Now, I really haven't figured out the reason for that hinge, I'm sorry to say, but they make a great screen. You can make your own. You know, I've made them out of styrofoam packages before and cut out a square or a shape in the middle and put screen over that. They'll hold up for a while if that's what you can come up with. But these were very nice. You're gonna need a sponge for some dabbing up of water because you want to try to get as much water out. I'll show you that when we get there. I find shredded paper very handy to use, has a base with our color paper. Also some lint, some dryer lint, which is a good thing to talk with the students about too, about lint and cotton and how that works. It makes a good binder for our paper. So we need some of that. You're gonna need some kind of a pan to pour your solution into over your frame. So make sure whatever frame you have will fit into your container. Very important. Also, a blender. I have a blender that's just dedicated to paper making. I would never put food back in it again because, well, you know, it's ink and paper and it's just better to keep it clean. And you're going to need water. And yes, I'm still in a zone without running water, so here's my jug. And then in your paper, if you want, you could add flowers to it, grass to it, little plastic figurines, whatever you can think of. I found this little spider laying around, so I'm going to put him in my paper. All right, well, let the process begin. Here we go. First, blender. We're going to throw in a handful of the shredded paper. Done. Next, we're going to throw in our piece of lint. You know, try to get a piece of lint that doesn't have like a lot of dog hair in it or your hair in it, because that's kind of funky for the group to get some hair. I think I'm going to go with this nice bright green today. And you can certainly make a two-tone piece of paper, which I have made, and we'll show you some of those. You're going to want to tear your paper into bits, like about that big. No bigger than that, because then it just jams up the blender, and, well, that's never good. You don't want to burn out your motor. So, it keeps them busy for a minute tearing it up. And you can use multiple colors just in your one batch if you like. I'm just going to stick with that green. All right. So now I've got my shredded paper, my lint, and I used tissue paper, green tissue paper for this. Put my lid, put the water in. And you want quite a bit of water because that just makes the blender work better. So I'm going to fill this up to about the 24 ounce mark on the blender. I think that's what that says. It's kind of old and faded, but yes. So anyway, I went to about the halfway line because I want it to be a good mix. All right, so here we go. I'm going to bring the blender over a little closer. Put it right into there. Ooh, and then we're going to fire it up and make a little noise for a second. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm going to hit it just one more time. there we go. Nice and pulpy. Now, some of the kids like touching this more than others, I would say. So there's my pan. Now I'm going to put my decal. They call it a decal, even though I always think of a decal as an edge of a paper that would be rough. But there we have it. That's what they're calling it. So then I put that into my pan so I can catch all my water and my solution. And then it's just kind of a slurry. It's pretty ground up. The kids weren't too sure. They didn't really want to touch it at first. But then you just pour it right on top of your screen. And kind of pour it out even. So now it sticks to there. It sticks together, the paper mess. And the water goes through. Then we take our sponge and we're going to press out some of that water. And then sometimes the sponge likes to stick. So I told the kids we all talked about how the sponge works better if it's wet. Much like when you water. The ground seems to absorb better if it's a little bit damp. And if for some reason the sponge gives you a fit and doesn't want to work, your hand is always good. So then you just do that for a minute. And it's really handy if you have another person around, because then they can go pour out water for you. That's lovely. Wring that out a little. And you can see we've got this nice green paper shape here in the middle. Well, it's not really a paper shape, but it's paper. And if you had older kids, more time, more space, more hands on deck, you could take your paper after you do this and you're going to turn it out onto something to dry it. I'm going to use this lovely piece of felt, which is from a puzzle. Save your puzzle midway, you know, and you take it and you roll it up in there. I didn't have many of those going on, so I'm going to repurpose that. All right, so there we have that. I'm just going to set that there for a second, get this out of my way. Hopefully not make a big mess, because I don't want to clean it up. Okay, brilliant. I'm going to open up my piece of felt. It's not too big of a piece, so I don't have to open that too far. And I'm going to just pull in my edges a little, so it just has a little more shape to it, of a square or a rectangle. But, you know, I have some that we've made, which I'll show you, that we put hearts in the middle. We made two-tone colors. That was fun. That turned out pretty well. And, you know, you could use it for book cover, for your personal book cover if you made a book. That'd be good. All right, so to flip that over, much like an upside down cake, I'm going to put that on top, and then I'm going to flip it over. If you're doing these with a lot of students, we found that if you put saran wrap around a decal, you could transfer it pretty easily from one spot to another. And then off it comes, out of my way. And now we have it on this lovely piece of felt. And then here's that little spider I was talking about. So I'm just going to place him in there, put his little feet in, and that should push him down some. And I think that will hold. And you can always, you know, your paper is very pliable, so you can push some back over its legs to hold it in there good and tight. It must be that season's rolling around again. The fun spooky time. All right, so there you have it. Paper with a spider. All right, everyone. And then you're going to need somewhere to dry this. And it's going to take a while to dry. It might actually take a couple of days to dry. I think I had one piece take 4 days to dry. So just know that about your project. It's going to take a minute to dry. All right, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's been helpful. Please give me a like and a subscribe. That'd be awesome. All right, everyone. Thank you.